Hi guys, and welcome to another video by Tram Vegan and Frodo. Hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day. And let's just hook up my mic so you can hear me a bit better. Here you go. Is that better? Can you hear me better? Hope so. So today's one of today's videos today's video is going to be on how to see the world cheaply. A lot of people want to travel. A lot of people want to explore different things. A lot of people want to get out there, leave the country, but lots of people struggle in terms of finding enough money and figuring out how to do it, and also finding the courage as well. And I think traveling is one of the most amazing, incredible things that you can possibly do for yourself and for your personal development, basically, because it helps you grow, it helps you have a better understanding of the world, and it shows you all the different aspects of different lives. It helps you appreciate your culture, but it also teaches you appreciation for other cultures, other religions, other people. It teaches you how to be independent, how to be self-sufficient. It also teaches you the main things that are actually important, not just superficial type stuff that we're all kind of being taught that we need as consumers by advertising. But it's just incredible. I love traveling. I love going to new places and seeing new things, learning about the history of every different place I go to, and just exploring, being out in the nature, being out in the world, just learning, absorbing, and understanding all the different things about it. So this video is going to be about some of the things that I have found helpful and how to do it cheaply, right? So definitely different things. There are different things that you need to consider when you're going traveling. First of all, it's your flights, or how you're going to get from point A to point B, whether it is overseas flights, like in terms of from different continents, or flights from different places on the same continent, or like could be in Europe, could be in America, or wherever. What you can do is look at last minute deals or book quite far in advance. But I think the best way to deal with getting around from between one place to the next is actually looking into cycling. Of course, I was going to say into cycling. There's always different ways, of course, how you can get around. But if you don't have much money and you don't want to spend much money, I think getting a bicycle and actually cycling through all these different areas is the best way to see the place, to see the country. And it will also make you fitter. It will help you get to know the locals. It will help you experience just the local everything. Like, you'll meet more people, you have more of an adventure, you'll see more of the nature, you'll get to probably try and go into all these different little restaurants and visit all these different towns that you wouldn't have visited otherwise. You can also, of course, rent or buy a car when you're in the area, or you can get if you don't want to be flying, like for example from different places in Europe, you can catch the train. There's Eurorail. There's also for younger people who are under like age of 25 or 26. There's this pass that you can buy, and it gives you lots and lots of discounts. I know when I went traveling around in Switzerland, you just buy this pass and it's free for a specific amount of days, however many days you buy it for, and it's free to travel on any kind of transport, so like includes trains, boats, buses, whatever. It also gives you discounts when you want to go up into the mountains and on cable cars and things, right? And when you want to see the lookout, so it gives you tons and tons of discounts. So my advice would be to actually have a look wherever you're going or traveling to, and see what kind of passes they have as well for traveling passes. Definitely, if you're planning to stay in the area for a while, get a little card, and lots of places have free cards in terms of like for traveling, like an Oyster card in London. I think that one costs a few pounds, but if you return it, you get those pounds back. So that's definitely something as an option. But I would recommend absolutely all the time cycling from A to B, because I think it's just a lot more fun. It might be more challenging, and you need to be a lot more aware of the weather, and you will need to pack light as well. But I think packing light is actually a really, really good skill, and you should absolutely pack light no matter what, because if you're going to be traveling around and dragging around your bag is a freaking misery, I tell you that. I once at some point when I went around traveling, there was a point in time when I went to Turkey and I went to Istanbul, and there's a lot of what are they called, like cobs, like big rocks type things, all through the main street. I don't remember the name of the street now, but my accommodation, my hostel where I was staying, was like at the end of this street thing, and then I had to go from the top like all the way to the bottom, and I was trying to save money, so I was freaking dragging my huge insane bag just like gudung 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 gudung. It was so annoying, it was so irritating, and it made me wish 1,000 times that I traveled lighter, much lighter. And being a cyclist, it absolutely 100% teaches you to just pack light, pack minimalist, and it's just better. It's just better for you. It's better for your back, better for your shoulders. It's all good when you're sitting at home thinking, oh, I might want to wear this dress and that dress and whatever else, but when you're out on the road and you're self-sufficient, you're teaching yourself to be self-sufficient, it's absolutely, minimalism is your best friend, basically. So that covers that. And another thing I would recommend in terms of accommodation. So, okay, there are different ways to deal with accommodation when you're traveling. If you have reasonable amount of money, you can look at getting a hotel or motel or hostels. There's lots of different deals online in terms of websites like booking.com and Expedia and just whatever. And something that I have again learned when I went traveling is that sometimes it pays to, one, you go on all those websites and actually read the comments and read the negative comments and look at the dates, so how long ago those negative comments were put in. So basically you want to check out and scope if the place is good and you want to stay there, and then you can go on the specific places website, specific hotels or motels website, and actually have a look at the deals that they have going on and if they have any cheaper options on their website compared to booking.com or whatever you have found that place from. So in terms of accommodation that is actually cheaper or free, I would recommend looking into couch surfing, but be very, very wary of who you're choosing to stay with, because, you know, the more it grows, the more diluted is the general pool, and sometimes you can get people who are not the best, but usually most of the time, most of the stories and experiences that I have heard have been good from couch surfing. My personal experiences are from warm showers, and it's a similar type community where people who do a lot of touring, a lot of cycling, they cycle around and you can talk to people. It is an app and it is also a website, and you get people's details in different places in the world, and you just basically message them and ask if you can stay there for the night. Sometimes they'll feed you, sometimes they'll be able to provide you just bed and a shower, sometimes they can even just provide you a bit of room and you can camp on their grass or sleep in the lounge on your blow-up mattress. So it's different kind of conditions, but it is absolutely an awesome, excellent choice if you are looking for very, very cheap or free accommodation, free way of, or cheap, very cheap way of traveling. See, that's why cycling is like great, because you can go from A to B and you can get yourself there with your bicycle, and then you can sleep in the place. If you like it, you get a free place that you enjoy, and maybe they'll even give you some food, or you can provide them with food, for example, as a gratitude. And it's usually not too expensive if you go shop in the local supermarket or something like that, or farmers markets. Just, keep your eyes open and be always conscious of that. And another thing that I have used in the past is Airbnb and Wimbledon, which these two probably have heard of them, but they're both very good. It's people opening up their homes, and basically you can come and stay at their place for much like a fraction of what you would normally pay for a hotel in the area. For example, I've used Wimbledon in London, and that saved me a lot of money. But at that point, I didn't know about all these free accommodation stuff. So I think it's really pays to look into, and especially if you're wanting to travel cheaply or for longer, and keep your money that you do have and make it last for you for longer. As well as going to places which are not too expensive. So places like in Asia, you'd have your Thailand and Vietnam and all those smaller, Malaysia, all of those, Indonesia, all of those countries where you can actually travel for cheaper. The food is cheap, the accommodation is really, really cheap, and you can find yourself something that is more bang for your buck, basically. And you can look into traveling if you have a bit more money, things in Europe, places in Europe and Switzerland, or Canada, or wherever else. Okay, so let's stop this video here. It's getting a bit long, but hopefully it was helpful and you got some interesting new ideas. I'd love to hear where you travel to. Let's keep the conversation. Let's start the conversation. Where do you want to travel? What are your tips? For example, put them in the comments down below. Maybe someone will find it helpful as well. Thanks for watching another video, and remember to stop counting calories, start counting kills. Count your adventures and count your passions. Lots of love to you guys, and see you in another video. Bye.